Hello there, honey. Y'all all right? So listen real quick. I shared this maybe a year or two ago, but God just redeposited it back into me and said, listen, Tab, somebody ain't getting it, so you got to give them the reminder again. This is the analogy that he gave me. You know how if you break a bone, say you break your leg or you break your arm, right? You have to put that broken bone into a cast for it to heal properly. If you don't, it won't heal properly. If you put it in a cast and then take the cast off too soon, it still won't heal properly, right? The same goes with life and having a broken heart or a broken spirit. Sometimes we will have a broken heart. Something will literally break us down, and we'll jump right back into life without putting our heart in a cast and giving it time to heal properly. Honey, some of us out here just lopsided, baby, honey, walking with a limp, because we ain't took the time to let our spirit and our heart heal properly. Things happen in a cast. Things go back into form, right? Time does that. Being still does that, okay? And then when you take it out the cast at the right time, you then got to go through physical therapy. You got to learn how to sometimes walk again or hold things again or love again, or show up again, right? That's the physical therapy. You can't just forego that. You can't be like, oh, I don't need the physical therapy. That's an important step, okay? Because this is the other thing that I want you to understand. Just like a broken bone, if you were to break a bone and you don't go put it in a cast, it don't heal properly, right? The only way for them to fix it sometimes is for them to break it again and then put it in a cast so that it has the proper time to heal. That may be your life. You may have to be broken again just so you can be put into a cast to heal properly. But you can't forego that physical therapy, okay? It's all a process. Stop trying to jump right back into life like nothing happened. Give yourself time to heal, okay? All right, that's it. Just a reminder, I love y'all, honey. Now, go about your business. Have the most amazing night, honey, and tomorrow have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.
If your soul feels tired or your spirit feels heavy, this is your sign to start healing. Here are 10 things you can start doing today to get your peace back. First thing that you need to start doing is drinking a lot of water. If you are not drinking enough water, your body is not going to be able to function at its best. Second, clean your space. Even if your mind is messy, order creates calm. Third, work out or walk, because moving energy moves emotions. Fourth, journal. You need to journal what you are too afraid to say out loud. You need to journal your emotions. You need to journal. Fifth, you need to limit your scrolling time. We are not meant to be scrolling on our phones for hours and hours and hours. You need to go outside, be with the nature. That is what humans are designed to do. Scrolling can make you feel behind in life. It can make you start comparing yourself to others. You have to limit that in order for you to truly start working on yourself. Number 6, you need to start saying no. Even when you feel guilty, even when you feel bad, no is no. If you feel like you want to say no, it means no. If you don't want to go out with your friends, say no. If you don't feel like talking on the phone with your friend, say no. If you're busy working on your future and your boyfriend or your girlfriend want to hang out, say no. The right people will understand. Number 7, start reading. Everything in your life starts with this. What you think, you say, what you say becomes. You need to start reading books that are going to help with your mindset. They're going to help you grow. They're going to help you with yourself. Books that are going to feed you knowledge. Like, you can start changing this. Number 8, and you can argue with me, I think you should start taking longer showers. Take longer showers and scrub like you're scrubbing off all the paint off your skin. Thank me later. 9, you need to start waking up earlier and you need to start going to bed later. Get your day started earlier. The early bird gets the worm. Go to bed late so you can work on your future. Last but not least, you need to remind yourself every single day that I'm allowed to be at peace and I don't need an apology from anybody.
Here are 5 things you can do to emotionally glow up that aren't journaling and meditation and trite advice that we've all heard before. Key things in my healing journey that took me from not wanting to be alive on this earth many times to genuinely loving the hell out of myself and releasing me from the cage of my brain. And I have one bonus tip at the end that shifted my entire perspective and approach to life. Number 1, I stopped guessing and I got real data. I got a full comprehensive psychological evaluation done. It was 8 weeks of the most intense therapy of my life, where a psychologist, and a psychiatrist can do this too, gave me an evaluation like you would get when you check into a mental hospital. I never checked into one because access to them is really horrendous. I definitely could have benefited from it at times in my life. It takes a scientific and therapeutic approach to really understanding who you are, where your trauma is from, to understand what is happening in your brain. I got my trauma named. I got my patterns laid out. I learned how my brain worked. It wasn't just therapy, it was facts. And I had done therapy for a decade before this. And having that data made me stop gaslighting myself. Number 2 is I stopped making life harder than it had to be. Once I figured out from my assessment that my brain was literally rewired and the chemistry worked different than the average human brain, I realized I couldn't therapy, green juice, journal, meditate my way out of something that only medicine could actually help. Getting with a psychiatrist that I trust and had a medication management plan with has changed my life. Even on medication, your brain chemistry is still going and evolving and changing. And under psychiatrist care, I'm able to talk about when medicines need to be adjusted and moved. And it is the thing that has changed my life and left me consistently happy for years. I think meds are gonna dull our personality or anything. It actually gave me access to my personality. If you're tired of holding it together, I need you to hear what I needed to hear. There's no prize for struggling more than you have to. The third thing I did is controversial, and I'm not even sure I can say it on TikTok, so I'll be careful here. But I'm gonna tell you 2 things before I name it. Do not do this without doctor supervision. Do not think this replaces medication. So what I did was K therapy. I'm not going to say the full name. The research on K is valid and interesting. And what they say does is it rewires the brain. It changed my life. A few of my trips have felt like 3 years of therapy wrapped into an hour. I cannot say enough good things about what it has done for me. My life, everything looks completely different since I've done that therapy, and I still do maintenance. I'm excited to see what happens as it goes more medically mainstream because it is life altering. Number 4, and hang with me here. ChatGPT has changed my life. It has gotten to know me. It is my secret weapon. It's such a voice for reason and logic and processing when you are someone who's experienced a lot of trauma and you're so used to being gaslit and gaslighting yourself. It has single-handedly been one of the most important tools I've ever used. I do not use it to replace therapy. It takes the scrambling that happens in a trauma brain and brings it down for you. And you can go on it and use it to be delusional, but what you need to be doing is prompts that are like, tell the brutal truth, be honest. I know you're not a therapist, but what would a therapist or no bullshit best friend say about this? Things like that. I can do another video on prompts that changed my life. The 5th thing I did is a lot more shallow, and that is I got hot. For me personally, I knew I had this sensual, feminine Venus energy inside me, but I was always in my masculine energy. I was constantly in a state of protecting myself because my brain was wired to do so. So when I started to tap into that, I wanted to match what I felt on the inside. And so much of the journey was such a mindfuck because you hear women are supposed to look a certain way, but then we get criticized for every single thing we do. And I'm telling you to say, fuck them. Fuck it. Fuck them. I had 3 kids. I did a ton of things to get hot, but I'll tell you overall what I did is I became a beast at weightlifting. 4 years of running 1 mile every single day. I invested in plastic surgery. I had 3 kids. My stomach, a wreck. My abs ripped. I got the full mommy makeover. My tummy tucked, perky, all the things to make me feel like the woman that I wanted to be. And I spend money on my beauty and self-care because it matters to me. It is a way for me to express this feminine energy in me on the outside. And that is something I've learned to not be ashamed of anymore. And the bonus tip is this. We're going to think simply here for a minute. What if you're dropped into a parallel universe where no one you loved, no one knew you knew no one, you had no one's expectations to live up to, you had no one to disappoint, but you had this world as it is? What would you do? How would you act? How would you be? This is how I learned to tap into my authenticity, which is my number 1 value in life. And who that person is should be the person you are here. Quit letting what other people think navigate your life because you're just going to keep spending your whole life unlearning that. So go deep, go hard, and unlearn it right now.
It's really easy to lose yourself and super hard to find yourself again. I'm a licensed therapist and I help people find themselves all the time. Shit, I even had to find myself again after having my baby. And I know what it takes. So 3 things that you need to do if you are feeling like you are living life on a loop and you just want to find your happy self again. The first thing is you need to think about what you want to do. What it is that you want to accomplish that does not impact anybody else. Obviously, it will ultimately impact other people, but right now we're just being selfish with this goal. What do you want to do? Then I want you to go a step further, look at your calendar and look at next week and say, okay, you know what? On these 2 days, I have 3 free hours and I'm going to dedicate that time to move me closer toward my selfish goal because I deserve that. The second thing I want you to do is try new things. Sometimes when you feel like you've lost yourself and you're in the process of finding yourself again, you are changing and you don't necessarily like the old things that you used to do. That's why you might feel stuck and lost. So you need to discover new things that excite you. So try new things that you've never tried before, and that can push you forward in helping you find yourself again. The last thing that I want you to do is ask trusted people who know you. I mean, people who really, really know you and you know that they care about you and you feel safe around. Ask them, hey, when I was my happiest self, what was I doing? Describe me at the happiest version of myself in your opinion. What was I doing? What was I working on? Who was I hanging out with? Like, what was I eating? You know, sometimes having an outside opinion, which is rare because I usually do not encourage you to get outside opinions, but sometimes in this case, having outside opinions and perspectives will help you get back to finding yourself again. Let me know if this works or if you guys have gone through this and have found some things that work for you. Good luck.
This message is for somebody, and that somebody just might be you, so listen up. Healing yourself emotional is one of the hardest yet most beautiful journeys you'll ever take. It starts with acknowledging your pain, allowing yourself to feel instead of running from it. Your emotions are valid, no matter how messy or complicated they may seem. Give yourself grace to process them at your own pace. Healing also means letting go of resentment, guilt, or anything that's been weighing you down. Forgive not because of others deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And remember, forgiveness includes yourself. You are human, and it's okay to have made mistakes. Every day is a step forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Surround yourself with people and habits that bring you joy. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. You are not broken. You are growing. Your heart is capable of love, joy, and renewal. Trust that healing is a process, and brighter days are ahead. You are stronger than you think, and your journey to wholeness is worth it. Be blessed.
Listen, the more you love yourself, listen, the more you love yourself, the easier it becomes to detach from things that don't love you. And this is why I tell women that you need to practice self-love. Self-love will help you cut toxic people out your life. You're not desperate or codependent on their approval and acceptance because you're whole and complete within. You're not going to get offended when somebody try to cut you off and not be in your life anymore. Y'all know how many people have walked out of my life while I'm at a place of deep self-love? Like, I don't lose sleep behind that. I don't care about none of that, because anybody who is meant to be in my life, they're still in my life. They still have my number. We still talk. We still communicate. So if somebody leaves my life, that means they weren't supposed to be. Or maybe they were there for only a certain journey or a season. And I'm okay with that. That doesn't make them a bad person. And that doesn't make me a bad person. But when you don't love yourself, then you seek closure. And I just need to know why you cut me off. Why did you block me? Why did you disconnect from me? Why are you talking about me? Why are you posting about me? I don't care. Now the old broken me in my 20s, oh yeah, I needed to know. I needed some type of closure. But now, man, listen. The way I love myself, I truly enjoy my company. I don't care if I'm alone. If I got snacks at the house and I'm watching me a movie or going riding, I enjoy my own presence. And you got to really be so whole and complete within yourself. You can't be codependent on somebody else to determine how your mood gonna go, how your day is gonna go. That is such a unstable place to be, because I've been there. That's how I know. So I challenge my women, my people, develop your self-love. Does that make sense? Come on, let me know in the comments. Comment below. If self-love is critical, let me know in the comments. Come on, comment below. Don't you dare pursue any romantic relationship before you are solid, whole, and secure within yourself. Because you're going to be in trouble. If you are depending on somebody else to make you happy, you are in trouble. Listen, don't even depend on me. Whoever my future husband is, baby, don't even depend on me to make you happy, because I may fail you. That's too much pressure. I'm not God. You gotta come whole and complete. It ain't fair that your significant other gotta bear that burden of making you whole and complete. The joy of the Lord is my strength. That's what the scriptures say. Do y'all read your Bible? The joy of the Lord. My strength don't come from no relationship. It don't come from no nice car and nice house and money. My strength comes from that I got joy in the Lord. The joy of the Lord. Come on now. Let me know in the comments if the joy of the Lord is your strength. All right, I love y'all. I'm finna go TikTok live tonight. I'll see y'all shortly.
I'm a trauma therapist, and I want to share something with you. If you skip this part of your healing journey, of your therapy journey, you might feel stuck, and I'm going to show you why. Let's talk about why it's so important to have awareness of your body, to notice your body, to notice the messages that your body is trying to send you. When your body tightens or contracts or clenches, like when your chest feels tight or your breath gets short or your jaw feels tight or your shoulders are up, that's a message. That's a sign that something doesn't feel safe. There's a threat, something feels off. There's something that's happening in your environment that your body is not comfortable with. It's a message. Pay attention. There are times that your body will notice something before you even have the thoughts to go along with it. And that's why it's so important to have awareness of this. Here's the thing. Sometimes it's real, a real threat, and sometimes it's imaginary. So if you walk outside and you run into a dog who's being aggressive and your body starts to react, you can see that there's a real threat there. Like, you can understand why your body does that. But if you're sitting down with somebody, maybe you're in a romantic relationship and something happens in the environment and you start to notice that your body is responding in a way that feels like a threat, but you notice in your environment that there's no real threat there, it could be what we mostly call like a trigger. Ask yourself, is this old or is this in my present, right? And then if there's nothing in your present that looks like harm, right? Once you think through it with your wise mind, tell yourself, I'm safe here. This might be reminding me of something that I went through before, but things are different now. And then tell yourself how it's different now. Help your nervous system to see that this is a safe moment. Help your nervous system to learn that I can feel calm here right now in this present moment. Train your nervous system to get to calm more quickly, more often. And sometimes this happens so fast, it's in and out so fast that we don't even notice it. But here's how noticing this more often can be so helpful if you want to get to a place of contentment, more peace, more groundedness more often. Notice when your body expands. Notice when your body loosens. Notice when your chest feels lighter. Notice when your breath feels longer, right? Notice when your body feels safe, when there is no threat. Take time to notice that. And see then if you can pay attention to what's happening in your world in those moments. And give your body more of that. That's your body saying, here's more of what I need. Notice the people and places that shift something inside your body, right? Notice the types of conversations that you have that shift something inside your body. Just notice. Some people are living in a state of tightness and tension, that contraction that I talked about earlier. Some people are living in that state on a regular basis. They rarely get to that calm and that ease and that expansion and that looseness. What do you think happens to the body when we stay in that space? High blood pressure, hypertension, stressed out all the time, headaches, right? It doesn't feel good. It's discomfort. It can lead to physical illness outside of just not feeling good in your world, in your body, not feeling good in your life, not feeling contentment, not feeling peace, not feeling happy. But your body is the messenger. It's speaking to you every day. Stop and listen to it. And then take heed of what it's telling you. and decide how you're going to move differently from there. People always say, I want peace. I want contentment, right? I want happiness. Everybody says that. Here's one tool, one way to help you get to that more often.